Welcome back, gamers of all variety, to another episode of Robocraft here with me, Wraulin, on the GamerGuide channel, and we're going to be covering lots of stuff in this episode. I'm going to be showing you 5 either renovated or brand new robots, and also talking a little bit about the guild status, the one we started, the Gallant Gurus, and then also my affiliation with Atlas Core, which a little sneak peek I actually did get into, so I'm very happy about that. We're also going to be covering some of the news that just came out recently, and I'll be giving you a little promotional code too for some free premium. So there's just a ton of stuff to talk about. This is my very first game with the Gallant Gurus, and you guys really impressed me as you have a lot of good players in this guild. Everybody in my very first match here was healing and working together so well. We were up against Show Mofo's Elite Squadron, which is another YouTuber who has a guild going on, and we did very well, as you'll see here. Just because of the teamwork and also because of the increased healing too, I'm sure had something to do with it. If you guys don't know, we got a little patch this last week which increased healing by 25%. So that really improves things quite a lot. Little stats they gave along with that patch note said that there was over 4,500 clans created. One of them is the Gallant Gurus, of course, but also lots of other people, including long-lasting clans like the Atlas Core, were also created. 1,500 players joined clans, and over 100 clans with 40-plus are also recorded. And there's also 500 custom chat channels, which I think is really interesting. So anyway, a lot of changes in the game. I really am enjoying being able to play with other people from our community, and then also just some of the differences with the chat itself, as it's a lot easier to kind of follow what's going on, and I'm definitely looking forward to the next chat. So as you see, we did very well in the game. We ended up pulling out a victory, and then I played a couple of other games too in BA here with the Gallant Gurus. So thanks a lot to Assassin's Creed, Bamboom's El July, Flaming Recon EX for the fun games in the very first matches I got to play with you guys. I'm looking forward to many more. If you guys are interested in joining something like the Gallant Gurus, currently there's no more slots left, but if you let me know down in the comments, I might set up an Annex guild of some kind, so you guys can get into it as well, as I do have different alt accounts that are not currently affiliated with Gallant Gurus or in Atlas Core, which I was very happy to get into this week. So as chat has changed, you may not have put yourself into a room that saw that there is a brand new premium code out, and it is RoboCraftSOCIal. That will get you 1 day of premium, and so if you're looking for that little boost in crates or you need that extra experience, definitely go ahead and get that code put in. It's going to be good until the 1st of October, so you don't have to use it right at this very moment, but make sure you do get it in before the end of the month, as you don't want to waste a perfectly good premium code. In addition to that nice premium code, this last week we also got a little preview of the Sprinter Legs with Hannah and Drogden getting together in a stream on Twitch and showing off some of the new models. I think they look like they need a little work still, honestly. They look a little bit too humanoid for my personal liking, but even if they do look like derpy legs, I'm sure they're going to work great. I like the split toe design that Hannah kind of had in the background a little bit more than the current model, and hopefully they do go with something like that. There's also quite a few bugs that I've noticed too in the game since the last patch, with one of the major ones being the invisibility bug that you see happening right here on the screen with Bambooms. It's a lot of times inadvertent. I've actually triggered it myself just by blinking while shooting a gun, I think is what actually will get it to go off, but hopefully they will fix that up, as it's actually the blink module and not the ghost module which is causing some of those problems. So let's switch back over now and talk a little bit more about Gallant Gurus. I went ahead and set up a Discord channel. If you're wondering what a Discord channel is, it's a way to chat among other players in live voice chat, or share other information like pictures and text and whatnot too, without having to be in Robocraft. So I went ahead and set one of those up. I'm going to leave a link in the description below. If you guys are interested in joining that chat channel, feel welcome to. And if you're interested in joining Gallant Gurus or an annex of Gallant Gurus, let me know down below. Now, I might be kicking people out of our little community guild if they are not active or I never see them online. So keep that in mind too. There might be some spots opening, and I'm going to leave it as an open invite situation, as I want anybody who watches the channel to have a chance to go ahead and join in on the fun. So as I mentioned earlier, I got into Atlas Core this week, which is fantastic. It's something I'd been an applicant for a little bit of time, and I've had a lot of fun playing with some of the different members. This is some of the games I played. I think this was slightly before I actually got into Atlas Core. But I'm playing the Stardust again, something I showed off in a former video that I like a lot. And a lot of the guys from Atlas Core like playing like helicopters and drones and stuff like that recently. So I thought I'd jump in and play a little ground support. But yeah, fantastic robot, and I like seeing what a lot of you guys are building right now to be competitive. I'll say the meta has definitely changed. It's gone from being mechs and drones to being primarily just drones now and being helicopters, as the maneuverability and the ability to hide behind different obstacles wherever you need to be is really quite a nice advantage compared to ground vehicles, which are kind of just stuck as sitting ducks for plasma and other weapons. One of the things I kind of believe to be true right now is that if it touches the ground most of the time, it is probably a mistake. So be careful if you're making a ground vehicle or putting a lot of your money into a ground vehicle if you're one of the new players. I'd recommend something that can at least get off the ground some of the time so you can avoid some of the major damage from plasma and being a sitting duck also from things like rail guns and whatnot too. If you don't consider yourself a good builder, first of all, I'd say practice. The more you practice at it, the better you get. But second, I would say try building a hovercraft or a helicopter, as those are a lot easier to build than a drone. And they have maneuverability advantages over an airplane, which has to kind of continually move in the same direction. So definitely helicopters, hovercrafts are people who are just getting started. And then if you want a higher challenge or you feel like you're a little bit better builder, try putting together a drone, as a lot of people right now are playing those competitively. So I want to give a quick little shout out here to some of my other guildmates in Atlas Core, like Defiling Soul. I'll leave a link down below if you want to check out his channel. He's also a YouTuber who is concentrated on making good builds. We also have Jack733, Baron Toter, and the Atlas Core channel to speak of in Atlas Core. So check out those things. I'll also stick them down in the description below. And while I'm at it, guys, if you are brand new to this channel, please consider subscribing, as I do videos like Robocraft and Crossout, Galactic Junk Leagues, and other things similar to this pretty often here in the channel, and I'd love to have you guys on board. If you are currently a subscriber, thumbs up this video. I'd appreciate that very much. And tell me what you've been up to in Robocraft and what you currently are enjoying in the brand new patch we just got. So let's go ahead and start talking about some of the builds I've done that are either new or renovated this week. This is the Electrobolt E-15. E-15 for 15 electroplates. This might be a brand new build to you guys, but I've had it out for a little bit and it's done pretty well on the marketplace. In fact, it was one of my top sellers, but probably because it's only 840 CPUs, so it's really affordable and available at some of the lower levels. Lately, I've really been focused on making vehicles that have some movement redundancy or protect their movement a little bit better, and that's no different here with the Electrobolt. I went ahead and put hovers inside the main body, and then I have hovers on both sides, so if you lose your outside hovers to gunshots, you will still be able to fly, and then you also have lots of topside electroplates, as things like railgunners and plasmas can make short work of real small vehicles, so it's good to try to cram a lot of CPU into a smaller area in the form of electroplates and things that can take a little bit of a beating. I would say the only thing to be scared of is those proto-seekers, as it can strip out your plates pretty quickly and take out some of those vital components like your movement or your guns pretty fast. But with some good situational awareness and a little bit of team play, you should be pretty good, and just keep your eyes out for any of those sneak attacks from hovers or stealth vehicles using proto-seekers. So anyway, that was a nice little game I had here with the Electrobolt. Did pretty well. Let's see, I ended up getting 10-2 for a score. Not bad. It is on the shop, and it is pretty inexpensive. My next vehicle up is the RotoRaven. This is actually the old version. I haven't really touched this since back when there was pilot seats, so I'm going to go and strip this out. I'm going to go ahead and make a couple more changes here to the RotoRaven, including a little bit of lighter blocks, a little bit of re-gun mounting things to be a little smarter using the new components, and then stylizing it to look a little bit more sleek. So this is the final design of the RotoRaven C-1750. I went ahead and put hovers on the inside, and I was also able to finish out the body, whereas before it had some open holes on the side as it's such a big body that I wasn't really able to finish out all the detail work I wanted when I only had 1500 CPU. But now that we have 1750, I was able to finish out the design and put some extra movement redundancy in the form of hover blades on the inside of this thing. So if you lose all 8 of your rotors, which should be hard to do as they are the epic rotors with 37,899 health each, but if you manage to do that, you still have hover blades top level to get back to the base. You can hide behind a rock like I'm doing here and regenerate your stuff or go back into the shield. I also upgraded the weapon system on this, so instead of just having the plasma devastators, I also have laser disintegrators, 3 of them, and 2 nano menders on the bottom, so it gives you a little versatility and lets you do more things in battle, and lets you be super tanky too in the air. So this is kind of a little heavier build, whereas my new one, which is the Core Command Chopper, which you're seeing here, is a little bit more maneuverable and uses heavier weapons, is a lot smaller, but can't take the same beating as RotoRaven. But I wanted to try this out. I wanted to put a power module on the inside and see how much damage I could lay out. And by using some smart gameplay and using some of the terrain to your advantage, you can do pretty well in this. It did take me quite a few games to kind of get used to this and know what my limitations are, but that's kind of true with any build. You got to have to play it a couple times and see exactly what the vehicle can actually take as far as damage and where its weak points are. I do like using the struts on this. It was a lot of fun, and then I used some of those arrow rods too to support the extra movement I have on. So it has 6 total rovers, ranging from the epic ones all the way down to the little green guys in the middle. But it did go on pretty easily, and having this extra CPU too allowed me to have both the lock-on missile launcher, which is great at getting people to move, or my personal favorite weapon, the Mega Plasma, which I like to put on mechs and also helicopters and things, wherever I can manage to get that extra 300 CPU. I would say that this helicopter is probably a lot harder and probably something that I'd recommend for players that have more experience in the game, whereas RotoRaven is going to be for more of the beginning helicopter player who needs a little bit of forgiveness when they're doing things that tactically don't make sense, like being way out in the open, whereas with Core Command Chopper, it is a little bit better as far as damage output, but you got to be cognizant of where you are, and you got to use things like this hill here for cover. But I did enjoy building it, and the struts are a lot of fun to play with too. Some people think that having 2 connection points can be a disadvantage, but if you do it right and you use it to kind of cover up the internal components, you should be in pretty good shape. Also, mounting things on those connection points, like bigger guns and stuff, can make it harder for people to hit those vital areas, like the connecting blocks to your struts. So I did have a lot of fun playing the Core Command Chopper. I'm going to put it up under the Wraulin account on the CRF, and also there's going to be some good robots up on GamerGuide. So check out both those accounts if you want to find something interesting to play or if you need some build inspiration for your own creations. A couple of things I've been thinking about building lately is a strut wallcopter. I think I want to try that out, but maybe you guys can try out your own little version. If you want to post up a picture in our Discord channel of some of the things you've done, I'd be definitely interested to see some different ways to combine helicopters with struts. And then also I want to try building a drone, which is both a hover and a helium combination outside of what I've already done, which will be coming up here later in the episode. So that match did go pretty good with the Core Command Chopper. We did die once, but we got a bunch of kills and some assists, and also got some decent loot, hopefully. We do have some rare stuff that I can use as far as electroplates go. I will probably throw those on something, but up next is the ElectroZepplin, something you might be familiar with if you've been with the channel for a little bit, but I added some more components to it. Instead of going all the way up to 1750, I stopped at 1650, which I believe is level 125, as I wanted to have it accessible to people who are not quite up the top tier. This is a drone that uses electroplates. Now, I use the big Omega electroplates on the side. They're called something else now, probably J or something like that, electroplates. And then I replaced the electroplates I had on the front to the spiked electroplates, which actually weigh less. The spiked electroplates and the numbered electroplates weigh less than the old, what were called Tier 5 electroplates. So if you have those on and you have the other ones available, you might consider that, especially if you're doing a flyer. So I added on some of the laser top mounts here. These are going to be disintegrators. There's a couple of carbons I had left over, so I threw those in the middle, and then 4 of the regular disintegrators on top. But it's nice being able to dish out some damage now with both plasma and with SMGs. And I didn't add a lot of weight as a reduced weight in certain areas by stripping out those heavier electroplates and using some lighter weight blocks here and there. And arrow rods too, to suspend those guns out so you can shoot from different angles, things underneath you and things above you too. So a lot of fun. I am going to put this up on the shop as well. It's under the ElectroZepplin. I got rid of the little stars that had been there originally, as I found it's harder to find things with special characters on the CRF. So that's a little tip for you if you're trying to sell your own robots. Take out color codes, take out special characters, make it simple for people to find it, and you'll have a little bit better luck selling your own creations online. So this is another game that I had the opportunity to play with Atlas Core slightly before I got into the guild, but I noticed the Falling Soul and a lot of the other members were playing these drones that are not electroplated, so it made me want to go ahead and go out and try my hand at making a drone. So this is my second attempt. My first attempt was kind of a monstrosity. It was a strut drone, and strut drones are super duper heavy, and that makes them super slow. So I went with this. It's called Prototype, which is a lot lighter weight, uses a lot of arrow rods, only 2 of the rudders though, and it ended up being too floppy for my liking. So I went ahead and erased this one too. But that brought me to my third attempt, which is called Maelstrom. The Atlas Core clan member American helped me name it when I asked in the chat, so props to him for the cool name. But Maelstrom is my third attempt. It is a hovercraft and drone combined. Uses, instead of a rudder on top for stability, 25 of these helium, so it is a little bit slower than other drones. But not only is it able to lift the Megaplasma, it's able to fire the Megaplasma without a lot of recoil, which is a major problem for a lot of aircraft, so it worked out really nicely. I also slapped on some of the disintegrators on the side, and I had a lot of the carbon thrusters left over in my inventory, so that's why I'm using some of those. I'm going to post this up on the shop. It is a lot of fun to play, but it took me a good probably 5 games to really get into the groove and be pretty decent here with Maelstrom, as it is a little slower, so you have to be cognizant of where the enemies are and use things like terrain to your advantage. But the Maelstrom also has its pros, which is good damage output with that Megaplasma, and then the movement redundancy is also nice, so if you lose some of your turning thrusters, you can scoot around on hovers and get out of the way and whatnot until you get regenerated or get healed from a teammate. Aside from the 1 rudder on back, there's also 2 rudders on the inside, and then I put hovers right underneath the helium on this vehicle for that extra movement redundancy and stability while you're moving around. And then I placed the thrusters around the center of mass to allow for left and right strafing. And then just having the exterior thrusters also adds to the armor on it too, making it a little bit tougher from shots instead of just having blocks out there to defend the important components. I did use a lot of arrow rods on the sides and the bottom too, so if you take flank shots or you get hit in the belly, it should transfer to the frame instead of taking out some of your vital components too. So pretty happy with how it turned out. Well, I will say though, is it is going to probably be a build for people who are a little bit more experienced in the game, as playing a slower drone means you need to be a little bit more familiar with terrain and know exactly where you can hide behind and how far away you can go and how far you can extend in certain circumstances as well. But I think I've pretty much said everything I want to say in this episode. I'm going to let the rest of it play out to some music I picked up from Epidemic Sound and other sources. Thank you guys very much for being here and being part of the channel. If you didn't get a chance already, please hit that like button, as I'd appreciate it very much. It lets me know that you guys are interested in seeing more RoboCraft here on the GamerGuide channel. And come back real soon. I am going to be picking up some more No Man's Sky footage. I have so much of it recorded on my machine that it's almost a whole terabyte of room, as I'm using Fraps right now to record it. But I'm going to get on that, and I'm probably just going to do a little video on how to make money in No Man's Sky, if you guys are playing that or interested in No Man's Sky. I know that game got more hate than the Epic Loot Robocraft patch, but I still enjoy it, and I know a lot of you guys do as well. But anyway, guys, that is it from me for this episode. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in my very next episode. Later!
Your middle fusion tower is under attack.